There we go. Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar, 10 Things to Consider If You're Thinking About CRM for Your Business. I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time talking about what CRM is, actually. I'm really going to focus on these 10 things. Customer relationship management, CRM systems have been around for many, many years now. Mainly adopted by larger businesses with a varied degree of success. But many small and micro businesses and third sector organisations, and we'll chat about those, could be benefiting. So what do you need to consider? If you're thinking about CRM for your business, for your organisation, there are things that you need to consider before you even start looking for a CRM. The most important thing is to set your own goals before you start. So what will a successful CRM implementation look like in your business? So if I just click on, there we go. So the agenda is a quick overview into what is CRM, and then we'll look at the 10 things, and then just a quick sort of minute or two on what the next steps might look like. Okay, so if everybody's ready, we'll get going. The first thing is, what is CRM? And generally, people think of it as a software package, and they generally think of me as being somebody who's a bit techie and knows how to install software. And this is something that I've spent many years now trying to get away from, particularly as software is now generally in the cloud, so it doesn't require any technical expertise, and it really requires business expertise rather than technical expertise. But so people think of CRM as being a software package. I like to think of it more as a tool. I think of it as a tool, imagine like Microsoft Word. And simply installing Microsoft Word does not make you a best-selling author. Similarly, installing CRM or subscribing to an online CRM is not going to revolutionize your business. So I like to think of CRM as a system, in the widest sense of the word, which consists of the software and the processes and the people in your business who will operate it. And that's going to act as a repository for your business information. So essentially, your CRM is your business in one place. And that should enable you to become more efficient and make informed decisions and ultimately grow your business. So that's really the way I like to start thinking about CRM. I like to think of it as business relationship management in any case. It's much more about all the important business relationships. And those are with staff, with customers, with collaborators, with suppliers, with a whole pile of people that are important in a business. So I'd like to call it BRM, but I'm not going to win that one. I like to think as well of CRM as having three main pillars, although some of the systems I've done have gone off in all sorts of different directions. But in general, people think of CRM as being a sales tool. They think of it as being something that drives their marketing, and they can think of it as being something that helps with customer service. And that doesn't mean your customer service complaints department. That actually means the whole process of serving a customer from start to finish. So in terms of acquiring customers, getting them through the sales funnel, delivering to them, managing them from then on, account management and all that kind of thing. So that's really what I mean about customer service here. And we'll have a little bit of a talk about that later on. But if you think of that three pillars, and I've got a blog on that, which I'll be happy to send out to you, that's kind of a traditional view of CRM. One traditional view of CRM. So the first of our 10, and I'm just going to check the time here. The first of our 10 is who. So are you on your own? And many of us are small businesses, micro businesses working on our own. Or do you work with a team? And in this case, that might be a team of associates in other organizations. It might not actually be one single organization. It could be a team of associates. So CRM then is going to be the vital system linking you together with all relevant client information and linking you all together. And it makes that client information consistent and accessible. So if you work on your own, then CRM makes it easy to keep yourself organized. But if you're working with others, then it makes communication easy. So that's about making it easy for everyone on your team to communicate internally and externally. And in terms of collaboration, which doesn't have to be restricted to employees, it's about collaboration with associates and partners. And what you can do is work on projects together and share information in that way. There are lots of other information sharing tools I'm well aware of. There's communication tools such as Slack, which can be linked into your CRM, but this is about the actual business information that underpins that kind of communication trail. So, and that can sit in a CRM. So that's the slight difference I just want to highlight there. The second thing is where. So where is everyone? Are you a traditional office-based business? There are still loads of those around. Or is everyone highly mobile, working from anywhere? So think about where your CRM needs to be. On a server in your office, yes, you can still do that. In the cloud, accessible by phones, tablets, etc., from anywhere. But consider whether you have access to high-speed broadband. And there are legions of businesses who still don't have good enough high-speed broadband to be able to run all their systems in the cloud, because there's no doubt about it. If you're working on a document and it takes a couple of seconds to upload and download from the cloud, that's one thing. But if you're working on an actual system where there's a delay, your team will find that frustrating and will start to complain. So any good system will allow you to trial first. So make sure you do a trial and make sure that whatever system you want to use is working at the speed you want to work at in your office before you sign up and part with any money. So, mobile and home workers do need access from a variety of devices, so don't forget about that. Don't forget about business continuity, beast from the east, people not being able to get to work. Don't forget also about you could be in your office and lose your access to the cloud. I've been in an office where somebody dug up the cable outside and just severed it, and that was us. So don't forget about those kind of potential interruptions to service, and make sure you've got a way of accessing your system. This is the thing. If you've now loaded all your important business information into a CRM, you have to be very, very sure that you're going to be able to access it from wherever, whenever you need to. So that's a key question number 2. Number 3 is why, and I'm not really sure why I left it. I was looking at these slides earlier this morning thinking, why did I leave why to number 3? That seems a bit strange, but I did. So so it's number 5 and at number 3, sorry, and really what I want to ask you is, why do you think you want CRM? It's not a daft question. Think about the benefits you're looking for. Is it to save you time? Is it to help you close more deals? Is it to become more productive? Not just because everybody else has CRM, not just because your competitors have CRM. Really think about what your business goals are. Think about your goals for 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, and further out. Although I would always say look at CRM with at least a 3-year horizon. How you expect that to grow and develop over 3 years. Decide how you're going to measure return on investment, and get absolutely crystal clear on how the value is going to be delivered in your business. But more important than that these days, it's becoming more and more apparent that we all make decisions. We do not make decisions based on finance alone. We make decisions on feelings. So think about, what is it going to look like and what is it going to feel like in a year's time when you have a system in place? What's that actually going to be like for you and the people in your organization? And actually aim for that, because aiming strictly on numbers as I say, it's now not how we make decisions. It's really got to be much more about what are your goals, what are you going to do to meet those goals. So think about much more about that. Some of the whys I've had, so when I've been talking to clients, the reasons for people, and these are just some of them, there's loads more, but these are more common. My data is all over the place. I have no consistent processes. I want to know what the team are doing. It's a good one. I've been forgetting things. I've been forgetting to follow up. I had a quote and I didn't follow up and I lost it. Lost the deal. Things like that. We need to know who our customers are. We need to get smarter at marketing. All those have been things that people have come to me and said, this is why I want CRM. But really, you have to then work out what success will look like for you. Is it that you want to close more deals? Do you want to be in that position where you know exactly who your customer is? So think about that. And the measuring tape is just there to say this is all. Measurement is key. If it gets measured, it gets done. I keep forgetting who it is who said that. But it is a key quote. And think about how you're going to measure all of these things. How are you going to know when you've actually reached the targets you're aiming for? So the first of our 3 pillars is number 4, sales. So it might be about measuring sales performance. Sales, CRM's often seen as a sales tool. Often, you think about sales pipelines and CRM, they tend to kind of go hand in hand. Do you have a sales team? So that's not shiny guys in shiny suits driving shiny cars necessarily. Your sales team is probably going to be in a small organization. It's anyone in your organization who has contact with customers and prospects. And that in a small team could be everybody. So how can everybody influence a sale? If you have engineers going out to fix a photocopier or a PC, how do they interact with customers? Can they influence, give the impression of what your business, your company is all about? So really think about who's on the team and what the value is in terms of a sales prospect. So making sure that all interactions between everyone in your team and the customer or the prospect is key. And it makes it easier then for your employees to give great service. So you need to have standard templates for everything, and you need to make sure, more crucially, that everybody uses them. And yes, we have the traditional sales pipeline. So that's all about measuring how many leads convert to how many qualified leads to prospects, to quotes, to proposals, to etc. And if you want a CRM to do that, then pretty much all of them will do that. It's then just a question of usability and how you think you want to use that. So that's sales. I'm rattling on because I'm always conscious of, no matter how many times I rehearse these things, I always talk more when I'm live. So anyway, cracking on. Number 5 is marketing. I'm slightly behind because I should have finished 5 by now. So remember, and this is my mantra, remember CRM is so much more than a glorified address book. So take the time to think about all the other attributes of a customer that matter to you. So if you're business to business, that can be industry sector, turnover, number of employees, those kind of things, and record them in your CRM. And by and large, from a GDPR point of view, those are attributes that belong to a company and they are not personal data, and you can record all of that quite happily. Now you have a marketing database that you use for email marketing, which is so much more effective. I know there's a couple of marketers on here. It's so much more effective than that newsletter that goes out to 5,000 people, which I absolutely tell people to avoid, unless you have a list of 150,000 and those 5,000 are very targeted. I would much rather send out an email to 30 people who are engaged and get a massive open rate than send out rubbish that people don't want to read. Nobody wants to read long newsletters. The marketers on here might disagree with me. I but you know yourself, you receive them, you don't necessarily unsubscribe from them, but when do you actually read them? However, that's for a whole other day. So yes, marketing. It's about it being much more deep than just simply an address list. So it's about defining your customer avatar. It's about understanding who you've had success with in the past and finding more of them. It's about getting more from your marketing spend. And it being more than just, people have said to me, oh, yes, I have a CRM, I have MailChimp. MailChimp's great, it's fabulous, but it's a tiny part of what CRM can do for you, and even a tiny part of what you could be doing with your marketing budget. Prepared to have that discussion with the marketers though. We talked about customer service before. It's number 6. So you've acquired a customer, how do you keep them? So use your CRM to keep in touch with customers by delivering information and handy hints. Yes, you could use it to upsell and cross-sell. That's more in terms of sales. Use it to track customer service issues if you do have any, but just generally about giving consistency and making the customer feel valued. Customer retention is key. You know, consistency of process, that really helps. People love to think that they're important, and the more consistent you are in terms of your communication with them, the more important they feel. The other thing is IT companies are a great example of this. IT companies can do a fabulous job in the year when they have a support contract. They can be doing an absolutely sterling job of keeping systems going and everything working. But the problem then is that the customer doesn't notice them. So they have to do other things to make sure that they're engaging with the customer and making sure that the customer recognizes who this person is and what a fabulous job they're doing. So use your CRM to do that, to build that fabulous relationship with your customer. So at the end of the year, they're not thinking, why did I pay all that money to that company? They didn't do anything. They absolutely did, but they just weren't being noticed. So think about that one. Training. Are you prepared to invest in training? And that means time and money. It's scary how much time and therefore money you can waste when users don't know what they're doing. I regularly go in to see people and they are doing the most weird and wonderful things because, oh, that's the way so-and-so showed me how to do it. And it's either plain wrong and actually, for example, somebody was building lists in a completely wrong way for email, or it's just inefficient. Scrimping on training is a bad idea, and it will cost you money in the long run. So you need to set aside time and budget if necessary to ensure all users are working effectively and you're getting that return on investment. So don't underestimate the need for training. Trained staff are motivated to actually use the system. So if you're paying a monthly subscription to use Salesforce or whatever, and Salesforce is very expensive, if people aren't using it, and I don't just mean kind of logging on and tinkering around the edges, I mean properly using it, that's a lot of money that's going out for very little return. So trained staff are motivated to actually engage and use the system properly, and they will then find ways, and they will be engaged with it and will use it more. So don't underestimate the need for training. I did mention third sector earlier. Yes, it's about tracking donors and managing membership. There are still reasons to use CRM if you're a charity or a social enterprise. So I actually have a lot of third sector clients. They do a lot of different things with it, which I don't particularly want to go into here due to lack of time. But yes, fundraising and membership management are two of the key ones. A charity is like a business. Income from sales and income from fundraising or donations, it's still income, and donors and customers are essentially the same thing. So third sector do definitely potentially have a need for some kind of CRM. They need to keep on top of their fundraisers, know who they are, attract more of them, do all those same things. Number 9 is time, of the 10 things you need to consider. do not underestimate the time involved in getting your CRM up and running. From initial steps to evaluation, setting it up properly, moving data from an old system or lots of different little systems, which is my usual challenge. And also, once it's up and running, which is, we know there's going to be a steep curve at the start, don't underestimate the amount of time you need to actually keep the system up to date. Now, that's not to say that the CRM should rule your life or become a burden on the business. But it does mean, like good time management systems, it does mean that a little bit of time ticking boxes, entering information, and setting it up for the next day is well worth spent. So it will actually increase the engagement with it. It will make it more easy to use if everybody is doing a little bit every day. But time needs to be put aside to actually manage your CRM. And every so often, it probably needs one or two people to go in amongst it and do some data updating and data cleansing, just to make sure that it's still fulfilling the needs of the business. When you're thinking about it, if you're the business owner and you're going to be doing this, don't think about what your time is worth. Time is money, and if you can get someone in to help with setting up a system, it's probably going to be worth your time. It's going to save you money in the long run. So it can be very tempting to think, I can do this myself. That's probably going to deflect your focus from other areas of the business that you should be focusing on. So think about getting some kind of assistance to actually set systems up for you. The next steps. So I don't even know how many CRMs there are out there. And although all CRMs work on similar principles, they do vary widely, as can the costs, from free or pretty much nearly free, although generally quite restricted in what they can do, up to Salesforce top level, £120 per user per month. It might even be more than that now. So take some time, ask questions, ask the software vendor, ask consultants and other business contacts who have had good or not so good experiences. But keep in mind your own goals for your business. So your business goals might not be the same as others. So some people think, well, I'll get Salesforce because it's the best. It's a lot of money to be spending if it's not what you actually need. And arguably, for certain situations, maybe Salesforce isn't the best. So make sure you've done your research. And I said there would only be 10, but there's actually 11 because I want to revisit the benefit. CRM can be a fantastic asset for your business if you plan it, invest in it, and use it effectively. But that won't happen if you don't actually get started. So ask yourself where you want to be in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years' time, and ask yourself what that looks like. And if you're serious about growing your business, then you really need to not put this off any longer. You need to grasp and go for it. And the last little thought here I wanted to just highlight is that this should be seen as a process, not an event. The best implementations that I've worked with are the ones where we continue to work over a period of time, reflecting new business processes, reflecting the growth of the business, including new things, updating and upgrading, training staff. The more you treat your CRM as a sort of living, breathing thing that needs to be kept going on and on and on, then as a process, as an ongoing process, the more success you will have out of it. The ones who have set up a system and then continue to use it exactly the same for the next 5 years don't tend to see the value so much. The ones who've invested in it a little bit every time tend to see a much greater benefit because they're much more engaged with it as well. So what's next for your CRM project? this is the bit that, we always have to come to. So the first thing is you need to analyze your business, and you need to analyze your business and where it's going and where you want it to get to. So you need to look at the growth plan. Now, I'm going to mention it because you can't get through a presentation without me mentioning it. There is a threat, because I was going to talk about SWOT analysis. And I've done my own SWOT analysis, and obviously at the start of the year, and in the T box, I wrote Brexit. And I thought, actually, I'm going to put Brexit in my opportunities as well, because I genuinely believe that investing in technology to really, really make your business grow forward is going to be the thing that gets us all through. And if I can help businesses to do that, then that's going to help more businesses grow and potentially survive whatever it is that's coming to us. Today, it would appear that maybe nothing is coming to us, but who knows? Who knows? By the time I've finished recording this, it could be different. But you need to analyze your business and see where you want to be and how you want to get there, and get that crystal clear. So that's the first thing to do. Then you need to estimate a budget, and that will depend on all sorts of things. It will depend on the size of your business, and it will depend on technology and all sorts of things. But you need to get a kind of a figure in mind of what sort of investment you want to make and what sort of return you want to get on it. That's also potentially going to be looking at what's the budget now in terms of the initial budget for setup, and what's the budget ongoing on a monthly or annual basis. So estimate your budget, and then evaluate all the different systems. Well, not all of them. Sorry. Evaluate some different systems. Have a look at different offerings. Talk to different people. It's always going to be. Sorry, I've just got a message popped up in the middle of the screen there. Sorry about that. It's always going to be difficult to find the perfect system. The perfect system probably doesn't exist. You just need to find one that's got the best fit with the best feel of who can you work with, who do you like working with, who's been recommended to you that fits within your budget, and you just have to make a decision. Because not making a decision is definitely the wrong decision. And lastly, because, and I'm doing a cut down version of this, so there's a contact us slide on the back, and because I'm recording this as well, so my contact details and all sorts of ways of getting in touch, and the website, which has been revamped for those of you who haven't seen my website for a while. We have run out of time, which I thought we would. I am just about to send you, if I can just do this over here, I am just about to send you an email with the handout that I promised you, and that will kind of just recap everything that's been in today's presentation. And then what I'll do as well, if this mouse would work, so I'll record this and make the recording available to you as well. So have run out of time, as I thought we probably would. Thank you very much all for your attendance. I hope you got something out of it and learnt something new, and I look forward to potentially hearing from you and engaging with you at some point in the future. Thank you very much.